Hey everyone, welcome to this episode of I Got This. I being the universal I. And today we're talking to one of the authors of From Bottom to Top. And that is a book that 40 authors collaborated in, speaking about how our lives at some point hit the bottom. And we all know that moment where you feel raw, that moment where you feel like, I don't know what I'm going to do next. And for everyone, it's different. There's, some of us, for me, it caused me to almost become suicidal. For other people, it's a different thing, marriage breaking up, illness, changes in their family structure, all kinds of different things. And the purpose of From Bottom to Top is to tell you that you are not alone. The purpose of From Bottom to Top is to let you know that other people have experienced what you're experiencing or something like it, and to give you some options and to let you know that there are options. So today I'm with one of our authors. Her name is Cathy Hohmeyer. I'm going to let her talk about who she is and what she does now. And then we're going to find out about her bottom. All right. Hey, Cathy.
Hi there. How are you?
Good. How are you? And thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, this chapter thing is pretty cool, and like a lot of people said, they learned a lot about themselves as they were writing it too. So yeah, happy to share what I can.
Awesome. Yeah, I know. When I wrote mine, I thought I was over some of that stuff. And it brought up a lot of emotions. And I thought I was the only one when the other authors were saying, it's taking me longer to write this because I have to get through the emotions that are coming up with it.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me a little bit about you right now. What's your life like right now?
Okay, so right now, I live in the Adirondack Mountains, and I and my family operate a small resort, and we're on the lake. We're on this beautiful piece of property, which again, like you said, I'm only going to tell kind of the end part here because I'm
Yes.
only going to read my story. And we are here doing our thing. I'm a chef, which I never thought I would be. I'm a restaurant owner, which I never thought I would be. And I got over shyness, which I never thought I would for the most part. Well, yeah, I guess my kids would say I did now. And yeah, got to places where I never thought I would be doing this. I feel like we keep this place for people to rejuvenate and have a good time. And I feel like I'm holding space. I never used to like that word at all. I'm like, what does that mean? But I feel like I'm the steward here on this particular piece of property. And yeah, the story says how it kind of led me here and what happened in the beginning. So yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah. I actually want to hold a retreat at your center there. Where is it located again? I know you said the mountains, but where are those mountains?
Yeah, most people know Lake Placid. Northern New York, we're just an hour, 2 hours south of the Canadian border. So it is northern New York. It's not upstate, it's northern New York, near Lake Placid, where they had the Winter Olympics in '82. So
Awesome.
most
I'm
people know
totally coming. So without giving away too much of your story, how
that.
did you know? What were the danger signs? What came up for you that said, I'm in trouble?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and to back up too, the where I am now is also I'm an energist, and I mean whatever you want to call those words, energy worker, light worker. I love the quantum field, and that's also where this whole years of being and building this place up led me to as well. But when I was in college, I had good grades in high school, and I went, oh yeah, I'll go pre-med, and then that didn't look very great, and then I went, oh yeah, med tech, and then you go, what the heck am I doing here? So 2 years of college in, I quit. Way before internet, way before cell phones. Girlfriend and I worked for the summer, bought a car, and did the infamous go out west sort of thing when you live in the
Thelma and
so we
Louise.
and we just traveled, and I remember being so afraid of life. I just knew I had to do it, and I remember being so afraid of life that we got towards a city, and I don't remember what it was, but somewhere along the path. And she said, well, we'll stop here and, stay overnight in the city. And I was so afraid of a city, I made her drive back outside of town, outside the city, to a campground like 25 miles out. Like, no, I hate cities. I'm scared to death of them. So I had pushed, somehow something in me pushed myself to go, you know what, you got to get out and about, girl. I mean, I was
Right.
from a small town, had parents that supported me. Nothing in my life was particularly wrong. I just knew that I had to get out and about, and I didn't know what I wanted to do. And things, I just had to open it up. Scared to death, I just somehow opened it up and said, okay, we're just going to do this and see where it leads.
Okay.
So when I remember like visiting my sister and, feeling alone and not knowing what I was doing. And that period, yeah, does lead some people to, big depression.
It does lead you to us, and just fearing life in general can
Hmm.
it's a big thing. It's a big fear. People look at their lives, I think, and think, unless I get to the brink of suicide, unless I'm in deep depression, I can't get out of the house, that everything is okay. And it's not. And when you're living in a state of fear, you're not okay. You're
Hmm.
not in an okay place. Right. So it doesn't need to get to, and it happens to everyone. They wait until tragedy strikes before they create change. And that's almost, sometimes it can feel like it's too late.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not, but it feels like it's too late. And so
Hmm.
you want to make changes sooner than that.
Hmm.
When you're feeling discomfort, you want to make sure that's when you're starting to make some changes in yourself.
Hmm.
So what made you decide? I mean, you took some course of action. Again, I'm not getting too much into that, but what made you decide to choose what you chose to lead you onto the path that you're on now?
Yep, and that was the middle one. So it's not giving away too much, because that was, now it feels like a lifetime ago what I did. And I'm thankful that I got myself out. I didn't stay put. Even though I felt bad everywhere I went, I got myself out and let myself open to opportunities. So I'm thankful of that. Because, like I said, I was afraid to be in a city. I was scared to death of life. I couldn't talk to people. So what led me to get out? I have no idea. But I got out, experienced a few things. Ran out of money. Clean condos. And then things, when you open it up, things just kind of happened. I'll save one good part for people to read. But I ended up finding out about occupational therapy in this really whacked out way. And I thought, hey, that kind of fits me. So then after that, I explored that, came home, went back to college, and it ended up being a college right next to where my boyfriend was. So things started to piece in once I kind of got out there and let it open. It really wasn't all that long. I think once you kind of open to things, you go to the universe, hey, I'm looking for something. What is it? And
Right?
give me
Opening
some
yourself to
signs,
the
give me,
possibilities.
yeah, the possibilities, open to the possibilities. And then, hopefully you identify them. And if not, they come at you again.
Yeah. And sometimes it's about looking at, I think too, like when I even think back to myself, it was really about saying, if I don't make a change, this is my life. Like
Hmm.
I have to do something. This is my life, or there will be no life. Like this
Right,
is,
exactly. Yeah.
I have to do something. And, regardless, I think we're set up to survive. If you say you're gonna, like, I was watched this in a movie one time, and it's an extreme, but when they say someone's gonna go out and drown themselves, your body would automatically try and save itself.
Hmm.
Right. I mean, you can't just go out there and drown yourself. It's not an easy thing to do. Not that I tried it, but you've seen it. We've heard about it a lot. So
Yeah.
if someone tries to do something, automatically your survival instinct will
Hmm.
come in. So even though, we make these plans for ourselves, like I did, um, survival instinct comes in,
Yeah.
and you have to listen to it. And
Hmm.
it's about saving your own life sometimes, whatever that looks like. It doesn't have to be a drastic save, but it's a save, because at the moment it does feel drastic no matter what you're going through. So, just recognize that. And we recognize you, obviously. Um, when someone reads your chapter, Cathy, when someone reads it, what is it that you are hoping? What message do you hope that they'll get out of it?
Well, in the chapter, I use the word web string. Again, going through, kind of learning about yourself and energy work and bit from people and the quantum field and what's out there and how, just trying to figure out how this all works. You learn that people go, oh, but you're important. And people will say that all the time. Well, you're important. Well, why are you important? And I went, well, yeah, everybody's important, but that's just kind of stupid. Yeah, whatever. But if you look at nature being symbiotic and depending on each other for survival, and the way that everything works together in nature, you just look at nature and it's a web string of each other. And if you're not there doing your thing, who's going to do it? Because someone used to say to me, like, I would be afraid to do something, then go, well, Cathy, if not now, then when? If not who, then, if not you, then who? And I love that statement because it's like, yeah, you're kind of right. Nobody has the experience I do in that direction. Nobody has the experiences that you do in your combination.
Right.
So you're important, because if you're not there, if you weren't there right now, we wouldn't be on here. If, IAUSM wouldn't be here. So the web strings all connect, and we're connecting with each other wherever we are. And even get chills kind of talking about this. We look at, it's like when you look at nature, what makes the tree bend, the bird fly, the whatever. There's something influencing everything all the time.
Right.
And if you're not there to influence someone, if you're not there to tell your story, even if it's a bad one, to tell someone else to help them, then there's a piece of the puzzle missing.
Right. I don't know if this is going to be the same answer as what you just gave, but we go through, and then I have another additional question to ask you after. You know what? I think I'm going to ask the question first. Interesting that you had, you said that you were more introverted. You said that you were afraid of being in the big city. Did it ever occur to you that you might be a high empath?
No, not then. I didn't know anything about any of that. No.
Do you know that about yourself now?
Yeah. Yep.
And for those of you that don't know what that is, that's something you're going to have to go Google. We'll talk about it another day. But being an empath can cause a lot of what Cathy was experiencing. So besides the message that you hope that people get from your chapter, what's your favorite strategy or tip to share with people?
Yeah, I do have a favorite. It's not easy though. It's like putting yourself out there and then trying to recognize where, what it is that you're supposed to do. When I came here to the lodge, it didn't make sense to anybody, including myself. Financially, it wasn't a good move. Personally, it wasn't necessarily a good move. I was living, living space wise, it was not a good move. So I'm not telling everybody to take, even though it looks really, really bad, go for it, because you have to discern how bad that is. But if it's not hurting anybody, if it's not, if you're going towards your passion, if you know that, I didn't have, nothing involved, drugs or doing bad things. It was just a move that didn't make sense financially. I was making $40 an hour in the 80s. As an occupational therapist, and I gave that up. That made no sense. But I was thinking I can always go back. So it wasn't like I knew I was taking a move that was a debt that I couldn't get out of, for one thing. It's like I can always change. I can always go back to occupational therapy if this doesn't work. So I just tried. I tried it. I went for it. Didn't know where it was going to end. And 35, 40 years later, here I am doing what I wanted to do and what I saw then.
Awesome. Sometimes you got to go for it. You can't let other people's fears step into what you want to do for yourself. That's absolutely the truth. If it feels right for you, even if it's scary, if it feels right for you, you got to give it a go. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? It doesn't work, but you would have learned so much about yourself, or maybe you would have found some other way to do it or something.
But, yeah. Even if that path doesn't work, you learned what, oh wait, that wasn't it, but something else. I mean, I always believe that something else would have jumped in and taken me on that other path. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Cathy, thank you so much. Thank you for being one of our faculty in IAUSM, the International Academy of Universal Self-Mastery. Those of you who have not heard of IAUSM, please go check it out. It's IAUSM, iawsm.com. It's a group of amazing teachers, mentors, leaders that are helping people on their path, all in one beautiful, unified, collaborative, virtual academy. And thank you also for being in this book from bottom to top. I think it's great. I think your story is fabulous, and I think it will inspire a lot of people. Thanks again.
No, thanks, Ayse. Yeah, it's one thing I probably didn't even think I was going to be in either. I went, oh yeah, I do have a story in it, and I'm thankful to share it. Thank you.
Amazing. Thanks so much for listening, everyone, and we'll see you again soon. And I got this.